It's going live. All right, we're live. It's Wednesday. Hi, Pat. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. So,
Good.
just for everybody that's joining us again or has just stumbled across this in your feed, I'm April Sobral. I'm the founder of Retail U and the author of a book called The Positive Effect. And every week I bring on my amazing, awesome retail friends. I say they're friends because, in retail, we speak the same language and we may have never worked together, but we have this amazing friendship and network and this love of retail. So I bring on, my network every week and have a conversation with them about their retail career. And really, it's about celebrating the positive effect of retail leaders on the business and the people they lead. And so I really believe in celebrating that. And I think it can't be underestimated, the power of positive leadership. And that's why I wrote a book about it. So today we've got Pat Apicella on, and we've got about 30 minutes to kind of pick your brain and get as much out of you as possible to share your story to inspire some retail leaders. But before we jump into it, if you're joining the chat, just put your name in and where you're coming from, and make as many comments as you want, because me and Pat will go back after and read them afterwards, because I love reading the comments afterwards about what you guys are learning from this broadcast. So welcome.
Don't put me too much pressure now. Don't put me too much pressure.
No pressure. There's no pressure. This is a fun conversation between retail friends. So anyway, so we're going to jump right into it, Pat. So walk us through your retail career, how you got into it, how it started. I love Ron Thurston. He's a friend of mine, and he wrote this book called Retail Pride last year, and it was all about accidental versus intentional retail careers. So I think it's such an interesting concept, because a lot of us just kind of fell into it. So today we want to hear your story. How did you get into retail? Go right back I know it's been a long journey, but if you can take us right back.
Journey. It's been a long journey, a long time. But you know what? At the end, you remember like let's say I say the story, it's exactly like today.
Right.
And these are great memories. So just to start is that I was around 16, 17 years old. And I was around the table, and my father asked me, "So, what are you going to do?" I said, "What do you mean, what I'm going to do?" I was playing soccer, so I was a soccer player. I loved soccer. I said, "Pat, I'm going to play soccer." Because what do you mean you're going to play soccer? No. You're going to go to work. I'm going to go to work. Wow. Okay. So there's a friend of his who was working for Aldo. So he called his friend, and he goes, "Listen, I have my son. He's 16 years old. He needs a job, and he needs to work this summer." So the guy goes, "Okay, no problem. Time to come and see me." So I go see him. I have a little interview about 15, 20 minutes. So he goes, "When are you ready to start?" I said, "Now." Or he goes, "Now." I said, "Yeah, now." So he said, "Okay, come with me. Let's go in the back. In the back." He goes, "Yeah, you're going to do some stock." Stock. All right, no problem. I'm going to do some stock. So I started as a stock boy.
Wow.
Now I did this for about 6-7 months. After 6-7 months, I said, "Okay, what am I gonna do?" I needed a challenge. So I said, "Okay, there's two things. Or I go back to soccer because I was still playing, and I'm gonna do what I was doing." I said, "Or I'm gonna tell him that I want to do something else." So I go see him. I speak with the manager, and the manager goes to me, "Listen to me." He goes, "On Saturday, come to work with a suit and tie, and you're going to start working on the floor as a salesperson." I said to myself, "I can't do this." Yeah, you're going to do it. The first day I'm on the floor, I still remember I sold for $1,005. First day. I have no idea. I did it. I was such a shy person. I said, and I did it. And that's the way I started.
Wow.
As a salesperson. Then I went as an assistant, some salesperson, to assistant manager, to manager. And after that, when I was managing a store on St. Catherine and McGill. And this is a long run, right? Until 26, 27 years old. So it was about 10 years. So I said to myself, okay, now what's next for me? Because when you reach to that age, around 27, 28, you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to continue or I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
So I said, who I could talk to. So I spoke with Mr. Dion, the CEO of the company. So I said to him, I said, I would like to talk to you. He goes to me, you want to talk to me? Yeah, I would like to have a coffee with you. He goes, okay, right now, I don't have the time. I said, okay, but do you have time? He goes, listen, on Saturday, meet me in front of the store and we're going to go have a coffee. So I go have a coffee with Monsieur Dion. So he goes to me, he goes, so why do you want to talk to me? I said, Mr. Dion, the reason why I want to talk to you, it's 10 years I'm in the company. I said, I'm managing one of your bigger store. I said, now it's the time, my career, I don't know where I'm going. He goes, okay. He goes, so what do you like about your job? What do I like about my job? I said, I love everything about my job. He said, no. One thing that you like about your job. And I said, this guy is asking me the right question. I better answer the right one. That's the way it is, right? Because you're talking to someone, you're a bit nervous, right? So I said, I love people. He goes, right on. He goes, you love people? Yes. I said, I love people. I love building teams. He goes, do you like your team? Yeah, I like my team. I think it's a good team. He goes, okay, no problem. We're going to go see your team in the store after, and I'm going to give you a runway. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, you're talking about my team. So we finish the coffee. We go back, and he goes, he looks at my team. He goes, there's a bit of work to do. He goes, I'm going to be back in about a month. So I'm thinking, what's wrong with my team? He's talking about, what's wrong with my team?
I love this.
Come on. This is a great team. Like, you know what? He goes to me, this team, did you recruit them all? This is he goes, yeah. I said, I recruited all my team. He goes, okay, who did you promote? I said, who did I promote? Nobody.
That's such a good question, right?
He goes, who did you promote? Nobody. He goes, is your assistant manager ready to manage? Ready to manage. I don't know. Yeah, yes, yeah. He goes, no, you're not sure. He goes, make sure you need to know this. So after a month, he comes back. Now he looks at my team again. He goes, my God, you made a lot of changes. Yeah, I made a lot of changes, Monsieur Dion. He says, why? I said, you know what? Some people went to other stores. They got promoted. I had to change a bit my team. And he goes, okay, now you got it. He goes, honestly, he goes, your team seems solid. And he goes, I was looking at your figures and your store is going up, up, and up. He goes, there's a reason for that. He goes, when you surround yourself with the right people, you get the right results.
100%.
I said, okay, no problem. So at the end, he goes, so now, do you know what you want to do? He goes that to me. So he's giving me, like, I need to answer it.
Right.
I said, yeah. I said, I want to be a district manager. He goes, that's it, Pat. So you know what? Do what you're doing, and it's going to happen. Work hard. It is going to happen. So after a few months, my director, Alain, came and see me again. Went to have a coffee. He sits down. He goes, so, how do you feel? I said, how do I feel? I feel good. He goes, you're doing well. He goes, but, there's an opportunity for you. He goes, but it's not in Montreal. It's in Toronto. So I was like, just imagine, 27 years old man, Italian, never left the house, leaving to Toronto. Wow! I said to myself, this is unreal. So I said, goes to me, but you're gonna go as a manager. I said, I'm managing the store here. I'm not going to manage a store. No way. I want to be a DM. He goes, no, you're not going there. He goes, you know, Toronto is different. It's not the same, blah, 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 blah. I said, I could do it. I'm telling you, I could do it. So he just looks at me. So we left the coffee place, and we're at the corner of St. Catherine and McGill, right at the corner.
Yeah.
There's one of my good friend coming up, right? He's coming in to see me. Now, I have no idea. Even he has no idea. So he goes to him. He goes, who is he? I said, Alain, he's my good friend, right? He's one of my best friends. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, that's great. So he looks at my friend and he goes, by the way, he goes, do you see this gentleman next to you? He goes, yeah, that's my friend says, yeah, that's Pat. Yeah. He goes, he's going to be the new district manager of Toronto. So, oh my God. So I was in a shock. So I got promoted. As a DM.
I love
Toronto.
it.
I left to Toronto for almost 3 years. April, I learned so much in Toronto. You know, the speed of execution, it's fast, it's big. You know, Montreal is big, but Toronto, different, right? Different mentality. Don't forget, it's not the same, right? Different mentality.
No.
A lot of things. So when I was there, I met all my managers. My manager has so much experience. Like, I was looking at them and I said, my God, a rookie from Montreal, Quebec, with an accent going to Toronto. So
you're like, how's this going to work? Yeah.
How it's going to go this, right? So everybody's looking at me. My first speech, people are going to, wait, it's like that. They're going to judge you on the spot.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, what am I going to say to them? So I told them, I said, listen, I'm Pat. I'm from Montreal. I'm a rookie. Everybody stand. I'm a rookie. As a DM, not in the company, but as a DM, I'm a rookie. So you know what? I need your help because I have no idea Toronto. The Toronto region, all that, I have no idea. So you guys are going to help me first. So to become a great leader, you have to surround yourself with people that challenges you, and that's the way you become a leader. Your people become a leader.
Yeah.
And those people help me so much. Some people get me white hair, yes, because that's what it is. But
I mean, that's such a good, I mean, anybody that's listening to this, you just shared such golden, like, pivotal moments that we can all learn from. It's like looking at your team, reflecting on, have you developed them, right? Because to get to that next level, I've had so many store managers want to get promoted. And it really is about building teams and people and promoting people. And then taking the opportunity, taking a risk and moving. Like, I moved 3 countries, right? So you get so much growth there. And then even now your approach going into the team in Toronto and saying, I'm a rookie, like showing vulnerability, humility, like that will gain you a lot in terms of people wanting to work for you. It's amazing.
Exactly. So after that, I stayed in Toronto for 3 years.
Okay.
And 3 years. And then after that, Joanne Nemroff that you had on your show, she calls me because she was my VP. So she calls me and she goes, Pat, how are you? I said, I'm okay. She goes, okay, listen, you're going to be back in Montreal. Oh, back to my town. I said, are you serious, Joanne? She goes, yeah, you're coming back to Montreal and you're going to take over the spring divisions in Montreal. So I said, wow. I said, thank you. It's only normal, right? 3 years, you're going back to home. It's your house, it's home. I was happy. And she told me that. So I said, thank you very much. I went back to Montreal. I stayed in Montreal for about a year. I won, it's something like for all the people recognized, it's called Club Elite. It's 1% of people honestly, it's 1% of people that wins this Club Elite. It's a great event. Okay. It's huge. It's amazing. Okay. And that year, I won Club Elite. So we're in Ottawa. Again, my director comes and see me. This is around 9:00. He goes, Pat, he goes, I have something for you. I have something for me. He goes, yeah. He goes, Florida. Florida?
What?
Are you serious? He goes, yeah. There's an opportunity right now in Florida as a DM, as a district manager, in the West Coast. He goes, but you can't say it to nobody. He goes, it's said confidential. You know what I mean? Okay, I said, yeah, I know. He goes, but you have 3 hours to tell me yes or no.
Wow. And what did you do? Did you go?
So, first thing I did, call my mom. First thing I did, call my mom. I said, Ma. I said, yeah. Well, I just got an opportunity to go to Florida. What should I do? She goes, what do you mean what you should do? You left for 3 years. You just came back. Just go. So she gave me the push, right?
Right.
I was amazed to see my mom tell me you could go, right? So at about not even an hour later, I tell my director, I said, yes, I'm going. He goes, are you sure? Yes, I'm going. So he talks to the VP from US, and he goes, Pat is going to go to Florida. So I left to Florida.
Wow.
I took care of all the west coast of Florida. I was living in Naples.
Which is beautiful. Yep. It's like dream.
Dream. It's like the retirement plan, right?
Yeah. From your dad. So from your dad telling you, hey, son, you got to get a job and doing stock shelves. You're now all the way in Naples living the dream.
Imagine. I'm all the way in Naples, right? So I'm in Naples. Love it.
And different. It's really different when you move countries as well, right? I mean, there's a commonality when you move with a brand. Like I moved from the UK with Starbucks UK to US Starbucks, and I did the same from the US to Canada. I was with a brand. I moved with a brand, which is always nice because you have this sense of familiarity. You have this family and this network and connection. But there's still lots of challenges when you move countries, right? Just managing different cultures and people.
Yeah, but it helped me so much because being in Toronto, going to Florida, it helped me a lot, honestly.
Right. So then what did you do? So what did you do after that?
After that, I came back after 2 years. I came back to Montreal.
Okay.
2 years later, I met my wife. Love, right? So
yeah.
Back to Montreal. I came back. And then a year later, I got promoted as a director.
Wow.
A year later, yeah. And it was such a great promotion because my wife was pregnant, and my VP, Denis Maheu, called me. I was on, I was going on Montreal. So he calls me. He goes, come back to the office. I said, I just left the office. He said, no, come back. All right, I'm gonna go back, and he promoted me that day. So it was a day before my son was born. So
amazing.
Those are great stories.
It's such an amazing career. I'm always, first of all, everybody that I meet, I always feel cheated that I didn't work for Aldo at some point in my career because everybody I meet from Aldo has these amazing career stories and like growth and development and opportunities of being in that brand that went, hugely successful from Montreal, and all the training and the development internally that happened there, I think is a testament to what their success was, because everybody I've met always has these amazing stories of internal promotion and striving for more and improving themselves all the time and being open to feedback. Because what I'm hearing you say is, people like, Pat, I need to have a conversation. Let's have a coffee, right? And it was those coffee moments of conversations and feedback that really impacted your journey and actually, where you ended up. And I think that's so inspiring for people that maybe are in a stock role right now and are thinking, what am I going to do? I think 28 is always that age. I did that 28. Is this going to be a real job, or is this going to what am I going to do with my life? And that's when I went into multi-site. So sometimes it takes a little bit of work, but you got to do the work and have patience and deliver your results, and it's a great career to go upwards and make a bigger impact, right?
And it's exactly that. And April, the beauty is that you were saying that Aldo has great stories. It's that they promote a lot from the inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they grow the people. They grow the people inside, and they give a lot of chance to people that they're stock boys, that, there's many. There's VPs that they were stock boys, and today they're VP, and they're, they're out there. So, great.
So I'm going to jump into some questions just more around your leadership, right? Because in this long journey, obviously, of being promoted and traveling around to different, countries and cities, you must have learned a ton. You shared a little bit, but like, what are some pivotal moments in your career that you really learned a huge leadership lesson that you could share with everybody that comes across this that they can learn from?
So you know what? I said it a bit in the story when it's at 28 years old, right? These are the moments that you're not sure of yourself, right? What are you gonna do? So when I met my CEO, the Dejan Dion, that's what made me, say, okay, what I'm gonna do in my life, what I need to do to make it happen. So at the end, you have to believe in yourself. That's very important, to believe in yourself. You need to work hard. And when you have a direction that you know what you want to do, this is where you need to go out, focus.
Right.
You do what you got to do. Don't be shy to ask questions when you don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because that's what happened to me, right? I didn't know, so I asked questions.
Yeah, you reached out. You reached out to a CEO. It's kind of brave as a store manager.
Not everybody would do that, and they would be a bit, oh, I'm going to do it, not going to do it. No, if you have something in your mind, do it. Don't wait, because that's what happened. You second guess yourself. I'm going to go. I'm not going to go. So that's something that this is where it happened that I changed a lot.
So when you shared that moment of like that experience of like, because this is very pivotal for leaders to understand if they want to grow their career, and he challenged you on developing your team, and then he came back a month later and you had actually, I'm going to develop these people. What did you change? What did you do differently? Because obviously then you went on to grow more teams and develop more teams. And what did that actually look like?
You know what? It's a great question that you're asking. It's that what happens after the time is that you have to be someone that when someone tells you something, you have to be very open-minded to take that criticism, because a lot of people, they're going to take this as personal. But when people tell you something, it's to make you realize that you could get better. And
right.
And that's what you have to be open-minded. You have to be there you have to listen. Talk less, right? Listen more.
100%. We got 2 ears for a reason.
That's what it is, right?
Right.
And at the end of the day, you have to, how can I say this? Get the right people to do the right position. Understand? So that's what he made me realize. Yeah, you have a good team, but at the same time, you have to have the right people. And you cannot have all Gretzky's and Crosby's and McDavid's. You need different type of people to achieve your results. So, there's many things, that you need to change. You need to embrace changes, because business evolves, right? Evolves so fast.
Yeah, it does.
Especially now, more than ever. The last 5 years, everything changed. So
when you were developing these people, when you were developing leaders, do you believe that they own their own development, or do you believe that it's the leader that owns developing the team? What's your perspective on that? Because I get asked by a lot of leaders, I want to grow. I'm frustrated. I've been in this role for some time, and we've all heard those stories, right? I mean, I was one of those people back in the day. I was like, until I realized something. So what's your perspective on that? Like, do you own your own development, or does the leader you work for own your development?
Listen, I think it goes both ways.
Okay.
You know what? For me, is a leader needs to inspire you, right? Needs to inspire you. It's only normal, right? It's going to give you it's going to guide you, but he cannot do it for you, right? Like,
right.
They're going to tell you, okay, do this, do that. You know, I'm going to give you some direction, but I cannot do it for you. I cannot score for you. Like, I could show you how to score a goal, right? You just shoot, right? But if you don't shoot, you can't score.
Right.
It's a bit the same thing. You need to. I always said it. Listen, I'm going to show you. I'm going to guide you, but I cannot do it for you.
Right. That's really good words of advice. Yeah.
Of course, and that's what I think. And at the end, don't forget one thing, right? As a leader, how can I say this? You can't make happy everyone.
Yeah, that's a big lesson to be learned, right? When you're managing a team, because we're in retail, we have such deep relationships with our customers, with our team, and we're service people by nature and by heart, right? A lot of us, and so we want people to be happy because we're providing excellent customer service every day, and it makes us joyful, makes us feel like we've accomplished a lot. But at the same time, like it's a big burden to take on to try and make everybody happy all of the time. And I think leaders get burnt out when they try and do that, and then their own career suffers. I know somebody told me a long time ago, when your team performance is not performing and it becomes your performance, it's actually time to make a change. And that was really good advice for me, because I was like, oh, my team's performance it's kind of like what your CEO said, your team's performance becomes your performance. And now all of a sudden that's a reflection on me. So yeah, then it's time to make a change when it's it's not going the way you want it. And that's difficult for a lot of leaders, right? Like, a lot of coaching I do is just how to have those conversations. It's tough for people.
You know what? At the end, like I say, you can't please everyone. At the same time, you have to be honest with them. You have to be fair, honest. But at the end of the day, if you don't do that, you mislead people. And sometimes you want to make everybody happy, but you can't make everybody happy. As a leader, you have to make decisions.
Yeah.
Someone always told me, when you analyze, you paralyze. And sometimes we analyze too much. It's like, okay, no, take a decision, right or wrong. You have to take that decision. Now, if you made a mistake, if you make a mistake, it happens, right?
Yeah,
it happens. You can't make too many, but it does happen.
You can't make too many. Yeah,
I made a lot of mistakes in my life.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you learn from it.
Yeah.
But just imagine when you go, sometimes you have a gut feeling, right? As you have that feeling, but you're hesitating. Usually your feelings are right.
I learned that when I kept a store manager in a role too long. I think we've all had that moment where we didn't want to make that decision because we were like, is my gut telling me the right thing? I'm trying to stay neutral. I'm trying to stay in the facts. And then I made the decision too late, actually, and then replaced that manager and then brought in and then saw the difference of the new manager and the team. And I was like, oh man, I should have done that a while ago. And why didn't I? Because I wasn't trusting my gut. I wasn't trusting my instincts. I was maybe afraid to make the decision and thinking what could go wrong as opposed to thinking what could go right. And that was a big lesson for me. It was like, it's all about having, having the right people around you. And when I worked at Apple, actually, when I was a recruiter at Apple, I remember going to the training there and they said, okay, look, think about your team right now. This is really good for anybody to do as an exercise. Think about your team and your best performer. Put them on a picture on the wall. And then every single person you bring onto that team, make sure they're above that performer So you just keep raising the talent all the time, and then keep that picture in your head when you're interviewing people. I thought I was like, that was such good advice, because sometimes we like people, we're relationship builders. We're like, oh, we could work with this person. We could, and you can, right? Like you can develop people, but they have to have the will. Like you said, your career journey to me speaks about the will and the desire to grow and take on more and take feedback and take that risk and be humble and have humility. And that's why you've had such a positive effect on the people that you've led and the businesses that you led.
Exactly. So sometimes, we have to, sometimes we think too much with the heart, think with the head.
It's funny though, because you got to have that balance, right? You got to connect with the heart and mind of people.
Exactly. So,
and
you're right. Sometimes it's, you get so much close to the people, right? And
I mean, my best friend was my boss when I was 20. Like, I always say you meet your best friends in retail. So I'm just looking at time. We're coming up on 30 minutes. We've got about 5 minutes left, right? So if you were going to say today, a great piece of advice for anybody that's found this and is thinking this has inspired them to think about retail and a career in retail or growing beyond where they are today. Maybe they're wavering right now. They're like, oh, this isn't for me. But they're watching this like, no, I can do it, because we all have those moments. What advice would you give to a retail leader to be successful today, to somebody to grow?
Okay, first is be yourself. That's something that sometimes people they want to change, right? But Pat is Pat. Be yourself. Be who you are. Be a role model.
Important.
Be present, because today with the technology, it's easy to do FaceTime. We do this, we do that. That's all good, but be present. Go see your team.
Go see your team.
Go see your team. Very important. Go see your team. Delegate, right? Delegate the right things to the right people, right? And you need to enjoy yourself. You need to have fun, and at the end, this is what, and the other thing is time management. More than ever. Right now, time management. What does it mean, time management? Is that people have families. You can't call anytime you want. Okay, I have an idea. Let me call. Oh, I have this. Oh, it's Saturday. Let me send an email. No. Create your time. When it's Friday, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, if it could wait until Monday, do it. If it's a 911, it's another story. But sometimes we're always with the iPhone, and we go and you have to be careful with that. I believe today's generation, you have to be careful.
I learn actually to use Outlook, calendar when you send your emails, to put a timer on to send it at the right time in the morning instead of like sending it whenever, because as a leader, role modeling what you just said, role modeling that balance is because if you're doing it to your team, they're going to think that that's what you expect, and it's not going to make them feel good about working for you. I mean, I learned that way back in my career. Just because I work a lot doesn't mean to say that I can expect everybody to be on all the time. So, it's putting those kind of parameters and processes in place, like you said, and time management. And now, really important, times that we're living in, balance, is so important to people, 100%.
More than ever. And that's mistakes that sometimes we make as a leader, right? Sometimes we're too like, oh yeah, let me do it. Let me no, or you didn't receive an answer, oh my God, it's like the end of the world. No, people have things to do, right?
Yeah, and when you're managing, and when you're managing stores, let's say when you're managing stores, you're in a multi-site role. Remember that the stores are focused on the customer, right? I used to say this all the time. Don't send out information on a Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock and expect an answer. Like, let them focus on their stores, because if you do that as a leader, you're not actually laying a good expectation or a good role modeling, like you say, about what you expect. You want your team to be focused on the customer. Allow them to focus on the customer. Super important. So Yeah, and so now, you know, I know that you've been like working on some other things, but we were talking a bit earlier that you miss retail. I miss running retail teams too. Like working with store teams is so much fun.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe we'll see you pop up in a retailer in the future.
Never know. Never know.
You never know. You never know.
No, but it's retail. You know, retail. It's you have it in your heart, right? It's your passion. You're passionate. Like just talking about it and imagine all stuff that we like. And you know, it brings you back those memories. And retail, you meet so many people and some great people, some great leaders out there that they make a difference in your life. So, of course, I miss retail big time, big time.
Yeah, you do.
Because now I'm in another role, right? And it's not the same thing, right? Restaurant business is not the same.
Yeah.
As it's the same. It's like, but in a smaller range, right? So.
Yeah, it's like we were talking earlier. It's like when you're managing a team of like 5 versus managing a team of like 1,000. Like it's the impact that you can have, right? So, but Pat, your story is so inspiring. I have to say that. And you know, there's a ton of comments in the chat, I think, from some people that worked with you. So you'll have to go back and take a read at them after. Yeah, some really great aha moments that are being shared by everybody that was in the chat. So I'm just, you know, if I'm just going to start to wrap this up, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And thank you for being such a positive effect on the people and the business that you led. And, you know, if anybody sees this in their feed, please share it with your retail network. You know, just do a share button on the post so that more people can listen and learn from, you know, people like Pat that join my show every week. About their leadership journey, because we really want to inspire the new generation of retail leaders to really see that this is an amazing career. I mean, I traveled around the world, like met amazing people. So yeah, go ahead and hit that share button. But again, Pat, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story today. It was such a joy to connect with you again. I know we hadn't talked for a while, but it was really awesome to have you on.
Thank you, April. And you know what? The last thing I would like to say to all these people is like, you know, you're saying that there's a lot of people that they're sending. You know what? This is the beauty when you work in retail. You meet so many people, some great people. You're always going to be friends with them. And if you can inspire others, right? Because I always say, if I was capable to do it, anybody could do it. Just put your heart at the right place. Work hard. There's nothing that comes easy. And even if you make a mistake, what's the problem? Just keep going.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Such good advice. All right. Well, we're wrapping up the show for this week. So thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.